Yeah, so Loki, I am a sports coach. I've been very blessed to have a career where I enjoy it quite a lot. I coach quite a lot of children per week, and I've been very, very blessed. And I've also been very blessed as well to be a business owner of those of the sports academy that I have. So it's been quite a very big blessing as well. And this is the first time that I'm starting my venture, a new business, as a professional public speaker. So it's been a very big blessing in my life. And yeah, I would like to say thank you to all of you guys. Thank you for having me here. And most importantly, thank you for Sandro as well for allowing me to have this opportunity to come and speak. yeah, just while we're on Sandro, like I really want to say thank you to him. You know what, I think we can all agree that there's not a lot to love about Sandro.
Amen.
There's not a lot to love about.
Sorry, we've got to cut this short now. We've got to go
There's a
home.
couple of things, you know, he supports Man United, he supports the Blue Bulls. You know, there's not a lot of boxes he ticks, eh? And I think you guys have more reasons, you know, more points. But out of the couple of things that I do appreciate about him is giving me this opportunity, and especially the last time I was here last year, you know, he just asked me out of the blue. I was like, okay, let me do it. And, you know, he actually really made me realize how much I enjoy this, and he helped me have belief in myself of what I can do in this, and I really appreciate that. You know, I think there's a lot of great things you can do in this life, but inspiring other people is something truly special. And he allowed me to see that and helped me believe in myself and what I can do and what I can achieve. And for that, I say thank you, Sandro, and thank you for giving me this space again. But nonetheless, before I start, I'd just like to let everybody know, just a quick disclaimer. Most of you guys are Afrikaans, so just know that I will not be speaking Afrikaans.
We speaking English every night, every Saturday.
Every Saturday.
Every Saturday.
You know, a couple of times people will tell me, maar nee, jy praat mooi Afrikaans. And I tell them, nee, ek praat Afrikaans net vir jou te sê, ek kan nie Afrikaans praat. So that will be the last of the Afrikaans that I'll be speaking for the rest of the evening. But yeah, so just to jump into things, before I get into the main point of what I want to talk about, like I just want to get into a little bit of myself and why I like doing this. Like I said before, it's a very special thing, inspiring other people and helping other people, and this is, you know, the reason why I want to do something like this, because it's something which is truly valuable, to inspire people and to help people and be for them when they're in need. And the reason why I want to do it is because, you know, I used to be the person who needed help, and I used to be the person who needs assistance and who needs to be motivated. And, you know, specifically when I was younger, I always appreciated speaking to people, speaking to teenagers in particular, because it is quite a confusing time, and you go through so many emotions and so many mind states and this and that, and it can really feel like dread. And specifically for me, you know, I'm 25 now, so I'm not that old, but at least I'm not Sunday. But you know, like from when I was 16 till I was about 21, I was in very, very bad places. I dealt with a lot of things, you know. I was depressed, I was suicidal, I was confused, I was anxious, I was all these things. You know what I mean? And I think it's much more relevant for you guys who are younger, because that's normally when it happens. Like I said, it's such a confusing time, because you really don't know what's happening. You really don't know what you're going through. You know, your emotions are all over the place. You don't know who you are, what's your purpose, what you're doing all of this for. You know what I mean? And I think for me in particular, it's something I really struggled with, especially the depression side of it, because I had no clue. You know, I don't know what is my purpose. I don't know what I'm doing this for. All of these things, and I think you guys can relate to it as well. Maybe, I don't know. I don't want to presume. Maybe your guys' lives are great. You know, it's like, no, I'm fine. No, I live on a boat. I have lots of money. You know. I don't want to presume, but I would like to believe at some point of your life, or certain instances in your life, you feel like you go through specific things. You know, and the breaking point for myself. This was when I was about 21, 22. I was a waiter. I was working as a waiter for about 2 years, and this was the lowest point in my life. I had absolutely no drive. I had no future. I had money. I just used it every single night to drink, you know, and living a completely unhealthy lifestyle. And like I said before, you know, I was just drinking every single day, and I was like, this was the breaking point. This was the lowest part of my life. And not to say that it was anything special, you know what I mean? It wasn't like I was a completely bad person just going around with a gun shooting people like, I'm gonna shoot you. No, nothing that crazy, but for the most part, it was the end of the road, if I can say, and this was the lowest of the low of my life. And the worst thing that I did to myself, you know, on top of, you know, me dropping out of school multiple times and again drinking and smoking, living unhealthy, not having anything positive or constructive that I do in my life, the worst thing out of all of it was the mindset that I had and what I told myself. And I think this is something that we can, at any stages of our life, relate with, is what I constantly told myself. There was a point in my life where I hated myself. Hated myself. And this is something that I would constantly repeat to myself every single day. Loki, you're not good for anything. You're not going to amount to anything. Look at what you're doing. You're drinking every single day. You're disappointing your parents. You don't have an education. You don't have a drive. You're not good. You're not great. You're not going to achieve anything at all. This is what I'll tell myself every single day. And this was my lowest point, you know. And it would just be that thing of I'll tell myself I'll never amount to something. I'll never have a future. I'll never be good. I'll never be this. I'll never be that. Just never and never and never and never. Every single day for about 2 years. Every single day. And the question that I want to ask you guys is that if you constantly keep on telling yourself something, there comes a point where you will start to believe it, no? You know, if the whole time you keep on telling yourself, I am a loser, I am a loser, I am a loser, the whole time, every single day, every waking moment, throughout, you keep on telling yourself that same thing. If you keep on repeating that to yourself, I am a loser, what will you become? Simple. You will become a loser. It's as simple as that. And that leads to the message that I've prepared for today. And the theme of it is, what you feed will grow and what you starve will die. Now, before I get into anything else, I want to just refer to scripture. Proverbs 23 verse 7. It's a short piece of scripture, but it's quite powerful. And it goes as follows. For as he thinks in his heart, so is he. And I think it's quite a simple, self-explanatory verse in the Bible, but just to repeat it again. For he who thinks in his heart.
Loki, it's Proverbs 23 verse
7.
Verse 7.
Proverbs 23 verse 7.
Just when you say verses in that, yeah, just so we can write it.
100%.
Proverbs?
23 verse 7.
But yeah, just to go
You're
back to
fine,
them.
that is?
Ja, waar, it's fine. Ik heb hem.
Beautiful. So yeah, just to repeat it again. For he who thinks in his heart, so he is. So what does that tell you? Whatever you tell yourself, that's what you will become. It's as simple as that. Yes.
It's like that saying with what you will reap, or what you will.
What you reap, you will sow.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Okay.
So the thing that I like about that is, with any type of trauma that you have in your life, or calamity or problem that you're facing, there's a certain level of self-responsibility to it, right? Yes, everybody's life to a certain degree is quite bad, but a lot of it, or a big part of it, goes to how you deal with it. So again, to what I said earlier, is like if you keep on telling yourself, oh no, I'm a loser, I'm a loser, I'm a loser, I'm a loser, that's your responsibility. This is the garden that you're taking care of and that you're watering. So if you keep on thinking like that, and you keep on giving that same energy to it, what you reap is what you put in. It's as simple as that. And I want to use an analogy, right? I always feel best to give a story, to give a message in a story. So let's take farming, for instance. So one thing, just off the bat, I'm not a farmer, I am not a boer. I do not know much about farming. And if I'm being honest, I really don't care. Like there's nothing which is quite a child. I don't know. I've never been. 25 years of my life, I've never been on a farm. Like, wow, this is a very nice farm. Wow, look at all those. Yeah, crazy. I know nothing about it. I don't know how to drive a tractor. I don't know how to harvest or a compactor is, and I really do not care about it. But the one thing I know about farming, even though I know zero about farming, zero. The one thing and the principle behind farming is as follows. You take a thing, right? You take a thing, you water it, you take care of it consistently, you tend to it. And then as you do that consistently, what will happen? It will grow. It's as simple as that. 1 + 1, you know what I mean? It's as simple as that with whatever you have, if you tend to it and you water it and you feed it and you're consistent and diligent with what you do, it will keep on growing. So what does that tell you about your minds in particular? That's one thing that I want to focus on, and what you think about yourself, right? If we keep on feeding our minds and our souls and our hearts with positivity, what will happen? But the word that I want you guys to focus on here is consistently taking care of. Because I'm pretty sure, again, I'm not a farmer, please don't note me for anything, yeah, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure if you're growing potatoes, right, and you water it once and you disappear, will you get good potatoes? No. You have to consistently be there. You have to make sure it's the right type of soil. You have to make sure it has fertilizer. You have to make sure it sees the sun or this and that, all the other particular things I know nothing about. But what I do know for a fact, you're not just there once, pour water, cheers buddy, I'll see you when you're potatoes. When you're potatoes, disappear, come back, yay, potatoes. No, it doesn't happen like that. That's the same thing with how we think about ourselves as well. It's as simple as that, right? Now, when it comes to our minds, our hearts, and our souls, is how do we make sure that we want to reap the type of thoughts and the type of state that we constantly want to be in? We have to tend to our souls, we have to tend to our hearts, we have to tend to our minds consistently. So it's not reading the Bible, oh, I read the Bible, okay, thanks God, gone. And then you expect, and then you look back at God and it's like, oh no, why is my life falling apart? Why is this happening? Wada. I read the Bible, but nothing is happening. You understand? It is the consistency and the diligence of that action, of that action, which is the most important. So it's not just reading it once and being like, okay, now I'm going to be forever healed. It is setting the time every single day for yourself to make sure that you tend to your heart, that you tend to your mind, that you tend to your soul. And how do you do that? I tried to break it down in 3 things, and I feel like if you want to achieve that, the most important thing, and I think all of us can agree to it, is the Word, it's the Bible. This is God in writing, and the set of rules and the way of life that He wants us to live so that we can live our best life. And to take it back to what I said before, it is not just taking the Bible, reading it once, and then going on your way. It's being diligent with it and setting aside time for yourself every single day. The same way a farmer gets up in the morning, whether it's at 4 or 5, every single day to tend to his crop, is the same way that you must tend to your crop, which is your mind, your heart, and your soul. Every single day, making sure. Personally, what I do every single day that I feel like works well for me is every single morning I wake up, I listen to music, I worship, and I read the Word. Every single day. Before anything else, before I check my phone, before I think, oh, Yarna, I have to do this, I have to do that, this guy's making me angry, and wada, then I'm already in a spoiled mood. You understand? Before anything else, before I look at my phone, before I plan out my day, before anything, always wake up, make myself a coffee, I have headsets, I sit, have a quiet time with God. You understand? Excuse me, and then after that I sit down, whether it's 10 minutes, and I read the Word and I meditate on the Word. Again, not just open, look there, do not kill people. Off on my way. You understand? I sit there and I try to digest it and go over it, setting the tone for my day, and I breathe positivity into my life in the way that I think about myself. Because that is the most important thing. Because taking it back to Proverbs 27, it says, for he who he thinks in his heart, so he is. So if I work on that diligently every single day, the way that I think about myself, if I think that I am a winner every single day, I wake up and I think to myself, I am a winner. Why do I believe I'm a winner? Because God tells me so. Every single day. and I look at all the affirmations and the promises and the facts that the Lord has written out for all of us to say, why I'm a winner. And I look at that every single day. And I think about that every single day, throughout my entire day. Whether I'm this busy or that guy who's annoying is annoying me even more, or whatever happens or calamity happens, the whole thought I have in my mind, I am a winner. What will I become? A winner. It's as simple as that. You understand? And for me, I always feel that in this world that we live in and what we want to achieve, bad things happen to everybody. We were just speaking now about how so many children are so unfortunate that they do not have parents, or they don't have parents who like them, or whatever the situation is. But to a certain degree, everybody here, bad things happen to all of us. Now we always have two choices. And the most important thing that we must focus on is that it is a choice, right? Excuse me. It's not bad things happen, so now I'll sit here and despair, or I'll wait for a superhero. It's okay. This bad thing has happened to me. What do I do about it? I want to sit here and I want to wallow and I'll be like, oh my word, this world is so unfair, and why am I always losing, and why am I so depressed, or why don't I have enough money, or why am I not doing well at school, or why am I not living my dream? Or you'd be like, okay, the world is unfair, but what can I do about it? What is within my control that I can survive this, and not even just survive a certain situation, but thrive from it as well. And that is one of the most important choices that you can make, and particularly when you're young. Because to take it back to when I was sharing my story before, I always felt that everything that happened to me was unfair, and this is why I'm in the situation that I'm in. You understand? Now, whether or not it was unfair, I have to do something about it. You understand? Yes, the world is unfair. So am I just going to sit here and be like, this is unfair? I did that for about 6 years, and I achieved absolutely nothing. I lost more than I gained, actually, screaming to the world, oh, this is unfair, this is unfair, this is unfair. But nothing happened. But the moment I decided to take action and be like, okay, this is unfair, how can I change it? And that's how life started opening up for me, and this is how I feel that life can open up for all of us. So again, taking it back to how to bring positivity into your life, into your mind, into your heart, in your soul. Always remember that God has left us with His word. So always, if you can set aside time for yourself and be like, okay, every single morning I'm going to read the Bible. Every single morning I'm going to pray. Sometimes it will be hard, sometimes it will be easy, but every single morning, every single day. I always love, I promised, I said that I'm not going to speak any more Afrikaans, but there's one phrase I really like in Afrikaans, and it hits straight to the tone, is Biki Biki Makabaya. It's as simple as that.
That's a good one.
It's a good one. It's not complicated. The little that you do every single day becomes enough. For example, let's take this building. This building was not built in a day. It was the little that the workers and the supervisors and whoever was here, brick by brick, day by day, before you know it, you have a building. It's the same with how you build the fortitude in your mind, in your heart, in your soul. The little that you do every single day. Another way to build to that positivity, one thing I really enjoy, one thing that you should really seek out is motivation and inspiration. Excuse me. There's so many examples. Number one, there's so many examples in the Bible of motivating and inspirational things. For example, I think one of the most popular stories in the Bible is the story of David facing his fears, standing up to Goliath, somebody who was 3 times bigger than him. You understand? It's that motivation of whatever I face in my day, whatever I go through in my day, I know that I can use this example, that I can keep on going. And that just builds to the positivity that you're setting up in your body, because you are motivated by this. Look at the people around you. Look at Sandro. Sandro's a dad, he's working at the church, he's doing all these beautiful things. That is motivating. If he can do it, why can I not do it? Find that inspiration in so many things. I really, really, really enjoy reading, not just the Bible, but a plethora of books. See how you can find inspiration from people who lived before, or psychological books, or whatever it may be. Just keep on reading and reading and finding this inspiration. We live in a beautiful world where we're connected to the internet and the rest of the planet. Go on YouTube and find what inspires you. All these things. Constantly remind yourself, why are you doing what that you're doing? And again, to tie it down again, that it is so important to do this every single day. Again, Rome was not built in a day. You know, you have to be steadfast, and you have to be diligent in everything that you do if you want to be the person that you want to become or achieve what you want. It is so important. So constantly find those things of motivation and inspiration. But the third thing, especially when motivation and inspiration, I know how, like, so many times in our lives, you know, we want to be inspired or something, but there's just no motivation, there's no inspiration. You think you want to, like, normally I'll watch a video which normally inspires me, or listen to a song or something, and I'll be listening to it, and I'm thinking, yeah, no, I'm ready, and I just hear, nothing is happening. You know, I don't feel it, you know. Or when you've been doing things that you constantly always do, whether go to work, go to school, do this, do that, and there's no fire in your heart, there's this urgency is not there, you feel it, and you're like, I really don't want to do it. Or even when you do it, it feels different. Like everything in your mind and in your heart and your soul is telling you no, you know. The most important thing through everything discussed so far is discipline. Discipline is what makes the biggest thing, and discipline is what is going to wake you up at 5 a.m. in the morning to read the word. It's going to wake you up when you have to go to school, when you have to go to practice, when you have to go to church, when you have to do all these things. Doing things not because you want to, but because you have to. And that's one of the greatest principles that you can ever learn in life. You know, I think like Sandro, I'm a big fan of sports, and there's so many examples of great athletes that have achieved so many things, you understand? And each and every one will tell you exactly the same thing. Discipline is the most important thing. And it's tough, like especially for me, because I'm a person who likes to enjoy things and be excited about things and whatnot. So as soon as something doesn't excite me, I'm like, yeah, it's been a good ride, but I know it's time to say cheers. And you know, one thing that I've learned, especially again being so fortunate to have a business that I have, you know, sometimes you wake up and you don't want to do what you have to do. You don't want to. Everything in your body is telling you, no, I do not want to do this at all. But you have to do it. Not because you want to, but because you have to. And why do you have to? It's as simple as that. So again, to bring it back to the theme, what you feed will grow. The same as the potatoes. You're not planting the potatoes because excuse me. You're not planting the potatoes because you're just having fun. Hey, look at me, potatoes. When I juggle potatoes. No. You know, you're planting potatoes because you need to eat. You know, we have to eat. If we don't eat, we die. You understand? It's as simple as that. It is as simple as that. And if we want to keep on eating, we have to make sure we have to tend to these things. The same way with our mind as well. If we want to have a successful life, if we want to reap amazing opportunities and goals, we have to be diligent with everything that we do. So yeah, it's very, very important to look at it that way. And now, to turn around the farming analogy, obviously the first half of what I was explaining is what you feed will grow, but what you starve will die. So again, Loki the farmer has his potatoes. Right there, potatoes. I look at my potatoes like, nah, I don't want to feed them today. I think I'm alright. I have better things to do. Cheers, buddy. I'm gone. Now I'm gone 2 weeks. I come back. My potatoes are dead. Why are they dead? Because I did not tend to them. I did not give it the diligence. I did not feed it. I did not get fertilizer. I did not get water. I did not get all of these things. And because of that, I do not have potatoes. Again, this is what happens within our lives. If we are not consistent with taking care of these things in our lives, they will not be able to grow. And bringing it back to what is unfair in life. Excuse me, Jonathan. Bringing it back to what is unfair in life. when you feel that everything in your life is unfair, or the mindset that you have, if you keep on feeding that mindset, if you keep on telling yourself, oh, Loki, I am a loser, oh, Loki, you'll never be able to amount to anything, oh, Loki this, oh, Loki that, keep on feeding that negative, that will take over in your life, that will take hold in your life, and then that will be your life. Whereas you're supposed to be feeding the other side of yourself, where, yes, Loki, I am a winner, yes, Loki, I am strong, yes, Loki, I will be able to achieve. I'm ignoring that. All I'm thinking about, Loki's a loser, Loki's not going to amount to anything, Loki's not going to get this or that or that or that or that. If I keep on feeding that, that will grow, and that will take a hold in my life. And the positivity in my life will starve and die. And it's in situations like that, it's very easy to blame other things, to blame my parents, to blame the situation. Oh, we did not grow up with, I did not grow up with enough money. Oh, I did not grow up with enough opportunity. I don't go to a nice school. I didn't have a car when I was a kid, or this or that or that. That's all I'm thinking about. I'm paying all my attention, all my effort. I'm just feeding that. And the positivity in my life, the potatoes in my life, I'm not tending to. And that will starve and it will die. So the underlying value of all of this, and again, this is something that I'm a big believer in, because once I started deciding this is what I will feed and this is what I'll let die, that is when I have seen the change in my life. And I feel like this is how you win the best life for yourself, the life that God has intended to you. Understand that your life is your responsibility. We all have personal responsibility of who we are, what we become, and what we achieve in this life. Bad things will always happen. It is a part of life. It will always happen. But if you are going to be the person of, oh, why does this always happen to me? This is so unfair. You will not achieve. You will not be able to achieve prosperity and peace and victory and abundance in your life, because all you do is point fingers. So I really, if I could leave you guys with anything, is understand that in your mind, in your heart, in your soul, this is your responsibility, and God is waiting for you to take it. I forgot the Bible verse, but it basically says that God favors. How does it go? I don't know. I'm forgetting it now. God blesses those who work for themselves and who take responsibility. I should be able to remember the verse, but you'll truly be favored if you put in effort in your own life, and you tend to the garden, and you tend to the potatoes in your life. That is how you achieve, and that is how you win in this life. But if you keep on focusing on other things, and you keep on feeding these negative things, these dark things which won't get you anywhere, do you really expect to win in life? Do you really expect to get whatever you want to get in this life? It's as simple as that. So if there's anything I can leave you, and this is something which is very special to me, because I truly feel at the end of the day, like how Sandra has done for me, something that I really appreciate is assisting and helping other people in their own personal journeys and their own personal lives. And if there's one thing I can leave you guys with at the end of this, is understand, with everything that you want to achieve and everything that you want to become, remember that it's you, the man, the woman in the mirror. Remember that it is you, and it is up to you. And once you understand it and you hold it with two hands, God will favor you immensely. And I can testify to that. I can testify to that wholeheartedly. The past 3-4 years I have been blessed, because I have taken it upon myself to determine the life that I will have. And that is available to all of us. And that life that you will get, you will deserve, because you worked for it. Because you fought through it, through the calamity, through the obstacle, through the challenge. You showed God, yes, Lord, I have a heart of a victor. I have a heart of a winner. I have a heart of somebody who will not quit. That is the most valuable thing that any of us can ever achieve. And the way that you achieve it is by yourself with God. Always remembering and understanding every day, this is my life, this is who I want to become, and this is what I'm going to do. This is the work that I'm going to give to be that person through everything else. So remember, through all of that, It is up to you. It is up to you, regardless of the challenge, how tough it is, how difficult it is, what you are going through in your mind and through your soul. Stand up every single time and fight. Every single time. And for me, I always feel a loser is a person who quits when they can still get up. A winner is not the person who crosses the finish line first, who's on top of the podium, who has the gold medal. A winner is the one, every single time you fall, you get up on both feet and you keep on going, regardless of the circumstance. And to achieve that, to tie it all together with Proverbs 23 verse 7, for he who thinks in his heart, so he is. So if you keep on giving your diligence to that, that is what you will become. Throughout your entire existence, with your mind, with your heart, with your body, with your soul. If you believe, yes, Loki, I am a winner. And you give everything to that every single day, I promise you that you'll be a winner. I won't promise you potatoes, but I promise that you will be a winner. So thank you very much again. I'd really like to say thank you to Sandro. I really appreciate this opportunity to share a part of me, and I hope it really did inspire you. The biggest thing for me, I really don't want to speak about this or that. I feel like at the end of the day, the thing which is most important in all of our lives is ourselves and what we want to achieve, and who we want to become, and how we can help other people. And for me, I feel like it all starts inside here. How you see yourself, how you perceive yourself. So give yourself that challenge throughout the week of how will I be able to make the effort to be the person that I want to be? Will I wake up at a specific time and read the Bible? Will I speak to myself in a positive way? Will I read certain books? Will I listen to certain music? Will I exercise? Whatever. What are these things which will change the way that I view myself, see myself, and speak about myself? It's all up to you. So again, thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate it.